My name is Kenneth Martinez,
And I'm Jedediah Bertram.
and we are here interviewing Sabrina Naccarato. She is a golf athlete at MSU-Denver. And can you tell us a little bit more about how you got into golf? What was your start?
Okay, I started playing golf when I was really little. I don't even remember how old I was. My dad started me, and I played a lot of sports. I played softball and volleyball, and was also a cheerleader, so I was a very active kid. And I actually didn't like golf when I first started. I didn't like it. My dad would enter me in these tournaments, and I would hate it and try to get out of it, fix sick, stuff like that, and I just absolutely hated it. And then when I got to high school, I played on my high school team, and then about my sophomore year, I actually got pretty decent, and I started qualifying for tournaments, and I started having more fun when I got better, so that's kind of how I started.
What was your learning curve like?
It was a big one, especially, I would say I'm still in a learning curve in college. I think I got the biggest shock was coming to college. College golf is way different than high school golf. I came in totally blindsided. It's not only the distances and the courses are harder and the competition is a lot more competitive, but it's a whole thing, your whole transitional stage in college and just life changing, and it's a big learning curve. And then just add on top of that the stress of your game. It's pretty hard, so I would say that even the past 2.5 years playing at Metro has been a big learning curve.
You said there was a lot of differences between college and high school. Was there a difference in the way tournaments are set up and how they work? Or is that pretty much the same?
It's the same concept. Like, you compete individually and you also compete as a team. So that is the same concept, but it's just, I guess it's a feeling. It's more competitive, but it's not super stressful. You're still gonna have fun, you're still gonna play your game, but it's just like, it's a completely different feeling.
So that's actually another thing that I wanted to touch on, is that golf is well known as being an individual sport. And I think there's a lot of people out there who aren't exactly sure how a golf team would work. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit? You said that there is an individual side to it still and a team side. Can you talk about how that works, like in tournaments, and how you work as a team and then how you work as an individual?
Okay, so I'll take my current team as example. So there's 7 of us that are currently playing for Metro, and 5 go to tournaments. So we qualify as a team. So it's probably, we have maybe 5 rounds of 18 to qualify for a tournament. So it's pretty intense rounds qualifying, and our particular coach likes to use stroke average. So if your stroke average is a certain number, or if you've placed top whatever in the past tournaments, then you are exempt from qualifying. So we qualify to go to the tournament, and that is part of the individual aspect of it. So it's hard because you're fighting against your teammates to make a spot. So that's hard too, because your teammates are like your best friends, but you want to beat them. So that's a difficult part of the sport. But so the 5 of us go to a tournament, and in competition wise, you can place as an individual. So if your score as an individual places you whatever, so you can win that way. And then as a team, it's a combined score. And in our division, they take the top 4 scores. So the 5th score that's the highest can be dropped. So that's how that works. So that's how you win this team.
Cool. That makes sense.
Have you won anything individually?
Not in college, but I have in high school.
Tournaments or?
Yeah, tournaments I have, and my high school team was really, really good. So I had a good team, and then I placed a lot in high school, but not so much in college. It's a lot tougher field.
What was the draw to choose Metro State to play golf?
That's a funny story. So I actually wasn't gonna continue on and play the college sport, I committed to Arizona State, and I'm just going to go on and be a normal college kid. And then at my state competition my senior year, this guy was following me for a couple days, and I was like, hey, is that a parent? And my dad's like, no, he's actually a coach for Metro State. And I was like, Metro State has a golf team? He's like, well, not yet. He's like, they're starting a new program, and he's looking at you. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I've already committed. Like, I already sent in my first deposit to Arizona State, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. So then after the second day of competition, I talked to him, and Coach Porty seemed like a really nice guy, and he gave a really compelling argument of why I should come to Metro and be a part of the first year of golf here. And so it took a lot of debating if I wanted to go to my dream school or if I wanted to stay a little bit closer to home and play golf. So those factors were what really had the draw to stay close to home and play a sport.
So one thing that I found interesting about the golf team is that your season started on February 22nd this year, which is pretty early and it's still very cold. And in Colorado, the weather is very unpredictable, especially it kind of starts right there where it starts to get pretty crazy. How does that early start in the year affect you guys as far as playing tournaments, practicing, the condition of the golf courses that you're playing on? Does that have any effect on you guys?
So February 22nd was actually our first tournament day. So we actually had about a month of practice before that. So we actually started towards the end of January.
Wow.
Right when we got back from winter break. I think we had maybe 2 days back, and then we started right again. So we have awesome facilities here in Denver. We have a couple indoor places that are really cool. So if the weather is really bad, we go to our indoor facilities and we practice there. They're not very long practices at all. We try to focus on not beating a ball into a net for hours and hours because that gets really stressful. So if the weather is bad, we do go to our indoor places, but if it's just cold out and the courses are open, we'll be out there. Doesn't matter if it's 30 degrees and it's windy, we'll be out there. We've been out there in downpour rain. We've been out there when it's snowing. If we have a chance to be out in a course and to see the ball fly, we're out there. And it was yesterday. We didn't know, or no, it was Tuesday actually. So we didn't know what we were going to do for practice. And one of our courses had their practice facility open. So we're like, okay, we'll go there. And then they ended up having 9 other holes open. So we played and qualified. So it's always just going to be, this semester especially, is always going to be depending on the weather. And that is really hard with qualifying too. So we always just want to make sure we can qualify as much as we can. And it's hard with the weather.
So what role do you see golf playing in your life after college?
Golf is a sport that luckily is a lifetime sport. It's not like baseball or basketball where when college ends, you basically end the competition. So once I end here, I can play forever. Even if I don't go pro or go on any of the little pro tour leagues around the country, I can still play and I can still compete in just little tournaments. That's the great thing. It's like other college sports, if you don't go pro, the competition stops. But with golf, you can always have competition and you can always compete for stuff, even if you don't go pro. And I don't see myself going pro. I see myself going into a career field. But golf is just, it's great. It's shaped me so much. It's given me a lot of discipline, a lot of mental discipline that I don't think I would have if I didn't continue on with golf.
Has anybody talked to you, or do you know the value of golf? Like, if you're, whatever career you go into, if it's really anything, golf, I've been told, is a very valuable skill to have because a lot of things happen.
A lot of business deals are made on the golf
yeah.
course. Yeah. been told that a lot of business deals have been made on the golf course, so that's always like in the back of my mind too. But right now I'm just playing it because I have this amazing opportunity, and I don't take any day for granted, especially the days that I don't play that well or I don't qualify or my team's in a tournament. I'm here. I don't get down on myself because I am in a place where other people don't have the opportunity to be, and it's awesome. And I can take these skills with me further in life.
Cool. So what all has being a student athlete taught you? Like, is it time management? What is it?
Time management, balance, self-control. Like, my daily schedule is waking up early, going to workouts, then going to a small time allotted space for your classes, because then you have to go to practice right after. And then our facilities aren't close, so it's a time commitment to get out there. And then you're out there for 4 or 5 hours, because golf isn't an hour practice and you're done. You're out there for a while, then you're back at your house doing homework until late at night, and then you're rinse, lather, repeat all over again. And it's tough, and there's some days when you come home from practice and it's exhausting, you don't want to do your homework, but you have to, and it's a lot of balance, and it's really hard. And a lot of people are like, yeah, well, I have a job and I'm a student, and I'm like, yeah, I have a job, I'm a student, and I'm an athlete, so I feel you. And it's tough. It's like, I'm not trying to compare myself to anybody else, but it's tough. But a lot of us learn how to balance it, and it's another value that I'm going to take with me, and it's going to be a nice thing to have when I go into the work field.
Where do you guys practice at?
A common ground in Aurora, Grand Valley Ranch, and that's up at the
That is
airport.
not close.
And then Meridian down south.
Huh.
So all of our courses are about 25, half an hour away.
You guys have any indoor facilities here?
Not
On
on
campus?
campus. Our indoor facilities are at the PGA Superstore down south, and then Striker Golf, which is out west.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you
And
guys.
all the best of luck on the ongoing golf season. It works out.
Thank you.
Hope
We
you
get
get
some-
some hole in one.
Thanks.